Hey everyone, we are almost done with day 5 of our now 21-day spring break. And I gotta tell you, I am already feeling the effects of this fun time with family. If you're like my family, the only way that you are planning on surviving this new normal of social distancing and isolation is through a somewhat new blessing that I am increasingly more and more certain that God gave us specifically for a time such as this. And that, of course, is Disney Plus. For adults, this online streaming service offers a window into the past, journeying through many of Disney's animated classics all the way to a galaxy far, far away. For children, and let's be honest, for parents with young children like me, this means one thing: Frozen 2. Now, I'm certain that there are other movies on there for kids to enjoy, but if our queue is any kind of indication as to what the rest of America is watching, I can tell you that no one knows what these other movies for kids are. All my kids want is Frozen 2. And the only saving grace about this fact for me is that, I gotta tell you, the music is spectacular. My family listens to the soundtrack all the time, even when we're not watching the movie at home. If we're driving in the car, we've got the soundtrack going. If we're at home and I can toss on a Spotify playlist, it's Frozen 2. And if I'm being really honest with y'all, I have to admit that I've even caught myself singing along to it when no one else is in the car with me. One of the songs, so popular even that it was performed at the Oscars, speaks perfectly into our current situation. Into the Unknown is the story or song of Queen Elsa's fear of the unseen, unnamed voice that is singing out to her. She feels drawn to it and knows deep down that she's meant to follow its call. Ultimately, it's only in doing this that she finds her true vocation. Paul speaks of this voice as well in his letter to the church in Rome. He shares with them the truth that the voice of God, our hope in which we are saved, is one that we cannot see and yet is something that we hold faithfully to. He even goes as far as to say that we hold to this hope with patience. In the midst of everything that would speak to the contrary, as the world around them was rallying against the disciples, and as their very lives were in danger, they were called to wait patiently on the hope of God. Brothers and sisters, our world is just crazy right now. There are so many knowns and unknowns that seek to paralyze us with fear. Especially in this season of social distancing and isolation due to the COVID-19 pandemic, it may seem at times like our hope is lost. It may feel like the world is literally falling apart around us and that we are being swept up in its destruction. You may be worried for your very life or for the lives of those around you. I have to say, this is a pretty anxious time for us all. But in the midst of all of this, my prayer for us is that we will hold to the hope that we cannot see, that we will wait patiently for it to find fulfillment in our world and in our lives. And may we, as a church, as people who hold to this unseen hope, step faithfully into the unknown, knowing that God is waiting for us there. Amen.